Okay, now this is the final part of the chapter, the letter class 10 CBSE board. And before watching this video, do read the description box in full and watch the earlier 4 parts A, B, C, D. The links are given there. Only then this video will make sense to you. This is the final part, and after watching the video, do answer the questions that I have given you in the description box, and very importantly, get them checked by your teacher, tutor, anyone, so that you can correct your mistakes and make a very good presentation in the examination and get real good marks. Okay, give me a moment to adjust my screen. There we go. I hope you're able to see the screen. Okay. Now, remember earlier I was talking about karma. Again, karma strikes. Paragraph number 53. Ali was oblivious of the pain and suffering and the separation that he had caused. He didn't realize the emotions of those poor birds and animals. He had to undergo the same trials and tribulations. Now, the postmaster did not understand the pain and the trials and tribulations that Ali is undergoing on not receiving a letter from his daughter Miriam. So now it is Ali's turn to depart from the story and the postmasters to take his place. One day, however, trouble came to the postmaster. His daughter lay ill in another town and he was anxiously waiting for news of her. Crystal clear, don't have to explain anything. The post was brought in and the letters piled on the table. Seeing an envelope of the color and shape he expected, the postmaster eagerly snatched it up. Eagerly. The envelope's color and shape raised the hopes and expectations of the postmaster, just as it evoked in Ali. That is why he eagerly snatched it. He couldn't have picked it up casually. Now his heart is in turmoil. It was addressed to coachman Ali, and he dropped it as though it had given him an electric shock. This is an ultimate twist in the story. The letter was for coachman Ali. So the letter had, after all, come after 5 years. And imagine the postmaster's shock when he found that the letter he thought to be from his daughter turned out to be from Ali's daughter. And he dropped it as though it had given him an electric shock. Simile. This shock is used here as a simile. Notice the figure of speech. Now, I don't think there is much need for me to explain these lines. Unless necessary, I'll go ahead with a little bit of explanation. The haughty temper of the official had quite left him in his sorrow and anxiety and had laid bare his human heart. Now, this line is important. Now, this line shows that the postmaster's empathy, which was born in his heart through his own emotional turmoil, okay, is in sharp contrast with his earlier haughty temper. So the haughty temper of the official had quite left him in his sorrow and anxiety. That means when the postmaster came into a state of sorrow and anxiety, his haughty temper left him and laid bare his human heart. Laid bare his human heart is a metaphor. Note down this figure of speech. It means to expose one's true compassionate nature. When you say he laid bare his heart, that means he said everything that was in his heart. So this is a metaphor, note it down. He knew at once that this was the letter the old man had been waiting for. It must be from his daughter Miriam. It goes without saying. Lakshmi Das called the postmaster, for such was the name of the clerk to whom Ali had given his money. So you remember Ali had given 5 guineas to one of the clerks and had made God his witness. So the postmaster calls him, come. And then he inquires, yes, sir. Lakshmi Das acknowledges. This is for your old coachman Ali. Where is he now? Okay. And he asks, okay, I will find out, sir. And Lakshmi Das, the clerk, goes out. The postmaster did not receive his own letter all that day. Okay. He worried all night and getting up at getting up at 3, went to sit in the office at 3 a.m. And remember, Ali used to come at 4 a.m. When Ali comes at 4 o'clock, he mused, I will give him the letter myself. Now he could understand the pain, the emotions, the desperation of Ali for the letter. Now, this was a father's heart waiting for another father's heart. And did you notice one thing here? The postmaster knows that the time of Ali's arrival at the post office at 4 o'clock a.m. For now, the postmaster, again, the use of the word now. For now, the postmaster understood Ali's heart and his very soul. Okay. After spending but a single night in suspense, anxiously waiting for news of his daughter, his heart was brimming with sympathy for the poor old man who had spent his nights in the same suspense for the last 5 years. The postmaster could not bear it even for a couple of days. Now he could understand that how many restless nights Ali would have suffered for the last 5 years. This is another transformation in this passage. Now he is able to empathize with Ali. At the stroke of 5, he heard a soft knock on the door. Soft knock. He felt sure it was Ali. He rose quickly from his chair, his suffering father's heart recognizing another. and flung the door wide open. Metaphor. His suffering father's heart recognizing another is a metaphor. It illustrates the deep emotional connection between the postmaster and Ali. It was Ali at the door. Come in, brother Ali. Brother Ali. Earlier he was a pest. Now he is brother Ali. He cried, handing the letter to the meek old man, bent double with age, who was standing outside. This simply, in simple words, the poet is conveying, brother Ali. He cried. Here, cry doesn't mean weeping. Cried means loudly. He shouted, hey, come in, brother Ali. That way. That shows his enthusiasm. It shows his happiness on seeing Ali. Madman, pest. Ali was leaning on a stick, and the tears were wet on his face as they had been when the clerk left him. Ali was weeping. But his features had been hard then, and now they were softened by lines of kindliness. So, earlier Ali's face was very hardened because of the sufferings that he had felt. All those went away. He lifted his eyes, and in them was a light so unearthly that the postmaster shrank back in fear and astonishment. Notice, Ali did never knocked on the door. This time Ali knocked on the door. This time there were tears in his eyes. His features were soft, and his eyes had a light so unearthly. That means a light which did not belong to this earth. And the light was such that the postmaster shrank back in fear and astonishment. Ali was no more on this earth. That is why he had that unearthly light in his eyes. And that's the reason why the postmaster shrank back, because what he was seeing in front of him was actually not Ali, but his ghost. Lakshmi Das had heard the postmaster's words as he came towards the office from another quarter. Lakshmi Das also lived close by. Who was that, sir? Old Ali, he asked. But the postmaster took no notice of him. He was staring with wide open eyes at the doorway from which Ali had disappeared. Where could he have gone? Now, this is again a suspense here. At last, he turned to Lakshmi Das. Yes, I was speaking to Ali. He said, old Ali is dead, sir, but give me his letter. What? But when? Are you sure, Lakshmi Das? This clearly says that it was Ali's ghost that had come. Such was the bonding between the father and the daughter that he couldn't, his spirit couldn't hold back and came to the post office. Yes, that is so. Broken, a postman who had just arrived. Ali died 3 months ago. 3 months ago. And no one spoke about Ali. No one, everybody knew, but the postmaster. Only he was the person who didn't know about this. The postmaster was bewildered. Mariam's letter was still lying near the door. Ali's image was still before his eyes. He listened to Lakshmi Das' recital of the last interview, but he could still not doubt the reality of the knock on the door and the tears in Ali's eyes. He listened to Lakshmi Das's recital of the last interview. This means Lakshmi Das was narrating the episode when Ali gave him 5 guineas and he made God his witness and asked him to forward the letter to his grave. So that is the meaning of this line. But the postmaster was unable to believe it. That had he actually not heard the knock on the door? Had he actually not seen the tears in Ali's eyes? He was perplexed. He was confused. What's this? Had his imagination deceived him? Or had it perhaps been Lakshmi Das? Maybe he thought that it was Ali. It was actually Lakshmi Das coming in. Maybe. Who knows? The daily routine began. The clerk read out the addresses: police commissioner, superintendent, librarian, and flung the letters deftly. Nothing changed. The world went on as it went. But the postmaster now watched them as eagerly as though each contained a warm, beating heart. What was earlier pieces of paper to him, what were earlier mere envelopes containing a few words here and there, now his perception had changed. He saw them as vessels of human emotion and connection. Metaphor. Here letters are being called as warm beating heart. Now that sense of detachment with the letters is gone. That evening, you could have seen Lakshmi Das and the postmaster walking with slow steps to Ali's grave. They laid the letter on it and turned back. Lakshmi Das. Now, the postmaster is still perplexed, confused. Were you indeed the first to come to the office this morning? Yes, sir, I was the first. Why does he ask this? Because he still can't believe that Ali had come and left before Lakshmi Das. Then how? No, I don't understand. What, sir? Now, the postmaster hasn't revealed that Ali had come. He had simply called out Lakshmi Das. Then, because Ali had disappeared, so he called out Lakshmi Das. Lakshmi Das came. And then he asked him, and then Lakshmi Das started narrating his story. So he did not tell this to anyone. Oh, never mind. The postmaster said softly. At the office, he parted from Lakshmi Das and went in. The newly awakened father's heart in him was reproaching him for having failed to understand Ali's anxiety. For now he himself had to spend another night of restless anxiety. That's why I said Ali had left and the postmaster took his place, tortured by doubt and remorse. The postmaster, he, the postmaster sat down in the glow of the charcoal sigdi to wait. The postmaster didn't go to bed. He lit the sigdi to wait, to spend another restless night. And he would continue spending restless nights till he received a letter from his daughter, just like Ali. Go to the description box. I have given questions there. Answer them. Don't become like the postmaster. And even don't become like Ali. Have a heart. The world is built of love, actually. The sooner we understand, the better for us. Bye. God bless you.